Like Article 3, Article 4 of the Uniform Commercial Code applies to negotiable instruments. However, Article 4 only becomes relevant if and when the item enters the bank collection process. To that end, Article 4 is primarily concerned with checks. In this lesson, we'll discuss the scope of Article 4 and introduce some key terms, including the types of banks set forth in Article 4. Article 4 governs bank deposits and collections. It primarily delineates the rights and responsibilities of banks and their customers in relation to bank deposits, check collection, and electronic fund transfers. Further, Article 4 aims to provide a comprehensive framework for the efficient and secure handling of deposit transactions between banks and their customers, as well as to establish clear rules for resolving disputes and allocating liability in the event of error or fraud. Article 4 has several key terms with specialized meanings. Familiarity with these terms is essential to understanding and applying Article 4. Let's start by defining the term item. As mentioned at the beginning of this lesson, Article 4 deals with those items that are collected through the banking system. Generally speaking, the term item is a catch-all term for instruments paid or collected through banks. More specifically, an item is either a negotiable instrument or a promise or order to pay money, not qualifying as a negotiable instrument, that a bank handles for collection or payment. Article 4 sets forth 5 distinct types of banks. Perhaps the best way to illustrate their various roles is through an example. Imagine that a law student received a birthday check from his grandpa. The law student negotiated the check to Student Bank for deposit into his account. The check was to be drawn on Old Bank, where the law student's grandpa had his deposit account. Student Bank sent the check to Second Bank for forwarding to Third Bank, which then presented the check to Old Bank for payment. Here, Student Bank was the depositary bank. The depositary bank is the first bank to take an item for collection. Old Bank was the payer bank. The payer bank, also called the drawee, is the bank that a draft orders or instructs to make payment. Second Bank and Third Bank were intermediary banks. Intermediary banks participate in the collection process but are neither the depositary bank nor the payer bank.